Anybody here old enough to remember when kids were afraid of adults in America? Or did your parents tell you about it or anything like that? Yeah. Weren't those the days? If you were a teacher, you could say, straighten up or I'm going to call your parents, and they'd straighten up. What happens if you do that now? Has the world changed a little? Yeah. Shape up or I'm going to call your parents. What do you get? So, I don't care. Call her. She'll come over here and kick your ass. Yeah. Does that sound more like the times we're in now? Or she'll come over and sue your rear, one or the other, right? Well, do you know any teachers who still act like they believe that you can scare kids into being good? Yeah. Should we have a moment of silence for them before we go on? Okay. But my question for you, my real question is here, will kids work harder for some teachers than others? Yes. Yeah. And who do they work harder for? The ones they're afraid of or the ones that they love? Yeah, okay. Just out of curiosity, remember last year when you went camping up to Rocky Mountain National Forest? It was the worst night of your life. Couldn't sleep. Ground was hard. It was hot during the daytime but cold at night. You're trying to sleep and the ground is hard and you're hearing every sound out there, and about 2:09 in the morning you're still awake and you discover that sleeping bags were designed by somebody who weighed 67 pounds. Yeah. And at 3 o'clock you're still awake and you say, never again, never again, I've had it. And you came back to town, you had a garage sale, didn't you? Sold all the camping gear. End of an era. Had it with that. And then I bet you remember also that last year that person you'd always dreamed of came into your life and you now have a wonderful loving relationship. Isn't it great? Sky is bluer, grass is greener. There's a nice warm spot around your heart every time you think about this person. And I bet you remember also that the other night that person called up and said, let's go camping next weekend. And what did you do? You bought a tent. Yeah, but while you were signing for the credit card, you were saying, not for anybody else on the face of the earth would I do this, but I would do it for that person. And my dream for you is that kids fall in love with you to the point to where they say, I'm willing to do something for that teacher I wouldn't do for somebody else. And when they get to that point, when you really care for somebody, do you want to make their job easier or harder? Easier. So as we move along in this program, we want to give you a technique that will cut through all the defenses that kids have about relationships. Because would you agree that the kids who need a relationship with a teacher the most are sometimes the most defensive about that whole thing? So that's where we're going here with this section.